Hey guys, Trent here with the Barga team. I want to go over a special listing that just sold this past week, last Friday, because of how it affected with COVID and everything that went on with it. So this property was listed last year with another agent for 6 months. We got it under contract February 23rd, 2020. That's when it went live. Okay, got under contract within 2 days. That one fell apart about day 8 because of inspections. Put it back on the market. Went back under contract 15 days into it, so that puts it beginning of March. Now what happened then? COVID, obviously. So we got under contract. There wasn't issues with the buyer's job or anything like that. Went through everything, got everything moving. So we went pending day 15 of that property being listed. We did not close until 159 days into the listing. So 144 days from the day we went pending on the second deal we accepted, we finally closed. Now, honestly, we took the back country road, got lost a lot, and we eventually got there. And it happened, but that's a very long time. How do you keep the deal together? How does the seller keep it together? How does the buyer keep it together? How do we know this is going to happen? Fact is, you don't know it's going to happen or not. But at the time, we had a good offer, a strong buyer, and we figured things out as we went along. So we were actually supposed to close almost on time, but the gentleman got furloughed from his job. He's a graphic designer. Most of their business came from restaurants. Of course, restaurants shut down for a while. So what happened was he got furloughed 2 weeks out before we closed. So that pushed it out. And he kept saying he's going to go back and go back. He was supposed to go back in the beginning of June. It was the middle of June. It was the end of June. He finally went back. And what the bank originally told us was all they needed to know is he's back at work and he's going to be there full time. We didn't need that 40-hour pay stub. So we were expecting that. Then it turned into, well, we don't need that. We actually need a 40-hour pay stub to show up. I'm like, okay, to get the 40-hour pay stub. And then he had to redo and apply everything because it's been so long. I mean, we're going on 3 to 4 months. 4 months, yeah, before we could close that. He had to reapply, basically. I mean, it worked out well for the buyer because he got a way lower rate, like 2.5, 2.75, crazy low interest rates. This actually probably saved him tens of thousands of dollars. So what do we do in the meantime? Where the buyer actually asked the seller if he could rent the house. Now, red flags go for me as an agent because so many things can happen. They could damage the property, they could not be able to afford the house, and you got some guy in there, and then you can evict people because of the moratorium going on right now. So there's a lot of skeptical things there, but ultimately my seller decided that's probably best because otherwise the property's sitting vacant. He didn't owe a mortgage on it, but he's still paying to maintain the utilities, still paying those taxes, and he's not making any money on it. So he opted to let him rent it. We did a separate contract. It was like a per day rent, basically. Made a little over $700 a month. So he actually made about $1,500 extra on this deal when it was all said and done. We sold it over list price, which I think if the agent goes back and looks at that house, like how do you sell it over list price and it took 159 days to close? Like no one pays list price if that property's on that long. So if you don't know what the situation, we're trying to comp out properties and compare situations, that could actually be a detriment. You don't really understand what you're looking at. But he rented it out for a couple months. The house was maintained. The buyer loved the house. The guy ended up being a really nice dude, really chill guy, and he loved the house, which is great. Now, the other side of the story is the guy could have broke stuff, didn't like the house, left, or he could have just been like, hey, I'm not going to buy his house anymore, and we can't evict him. And he's just sitting in his house. My seller can't sell, and it could cause problems. But overall, 144 days, keeping that deal together. The buyer got a better deal. My seller made some extra money. It all came together, made it happen. Had a great agent on the other side. The buyer is cool. My seller is really cool. So everything worked out well. So I bring that to point because I think later this fall or winter, when they say COVID could spring back up and all that fun stuff, we might run into more situations of this. So if you're looking to sell your house coming in the fall and the winter time, you might run into that situation where you're in a contract and the buyer is being furloughed, and they might be able to rent your place, and it might work out well. It just depends on your situation, what you guys are looking at. So don't be scared of it. There's always a way to figure it out and make it beneficial for both parties and to keep that deal together, especially if you're getting one over list price. You can make everything happen. So if you guys have any questions on that or timing, let us know. Reach out to us here on Instagram, Facebook, whatever. Email us at trent@thebargateam.com. We'd be glad to help. Enjoy your day.